different players contributing on the offensive end. It was our first chance to really mix up what we were doing on the defensive end, so we worked through 3 different sets on that end, which we hadn't been able to do before. And I think ultimately the best thing about the game was we just learned a ton. Obviously, Kenzie had an awesome game. She was Offensive Player of the Week this week, and kind of a new thing for her, standing out in that way with 9 points. But then we also had a lot of other people contribute on the end of the field. Nikki put the first one in of the day. Regan had kind of the perfect midfield stat line that game, contributing to those draw controls, the ground balls, 3 goals and an assist, and so that was pretty exciting. And I feel like we kind of finally got a taste of what this team should look like, and with some more experience, I think that stuff will get more consistent as well.
You talked about a couple of things, but what was the biggest thing between those first 2 games that were on the road and at a neutral site, long road trips, to last Wednesday? What was some of the biggest differences that you saw?
Just time. I mean, realistically, someone like Regan, as a freshman, is learning 3 new defenses, 3 new offenses, how to take the draw control, which she didn't do in high school. And so I think when you expect your players to learn that amount that quickly, it just takes time and experience. So I think that was really the biggest difference. The other thing, too, is I genuinely think we have a real home field advantage here at Mesa, just across the board, from athletic training to sports info to games management. We do a fantastic job here, and so I really believe it's the best place to play in the RMAC, and so it's just exciting, like, whenever we get a chance to do that, because it feels great. Like, we feel supported, and it just feels like a real game environment, which is a lot of fun and gives you a little fuel,
You get Rockhurst tomorrow night. Probably got a chance to watch them a little bit yesterday. Then playing a neutral game here at Mesa. What do you know about them? What did you see with them?
Sure, they have a lot of talent. I mean, I think that was true last year, and then a lot of those players have developed and just gotten a little more confident, more experienced. The freshman of the year in the RMAC last year is on that team, and she's definitely a talent. So I think there's a lot of really high-level skills, and we'll get to see, I hope, a backer zone on their defensive end. That's kind of what we're preparing for. And then offensively, they have a lot of threats. They have a couple upperclassmen that are definitely leading that, but we feel familiar, like it definitely feels like an opponent that we know well, which is great. And so even though they're not in our conference this year, it's still a good opportunity to get a chance to play them again.
Questions?
The offense starting to develop more, specifically through position plays, looking really well for you guys. Are you guys starting to develop some sort of sense of formula, what works well? Crease opening up, freshmen starting to step up. I feel like you're trying to figure out exactly what works and what you guys need to do more of.
Yeah, I think a big part of it, at least from my end, is just getting a really good feel now for what people's strengths are under pressure. We try to imitate that as much as we can in practice, but it's not quite the same pressure as a real opponent or that game day with an audience and the clock winding down, So I think for me, I definitely feel more informed in terms of who handles what, when, well. And these two might have other thoughts on that, just in terms of the offense. But.
Yeah, I think that we've definitely grown a lot in the past couple of weeks. We've been able to feel that team chemistry, and I think the game last week was a big step in that, because we do try to imitate that in practice, but being able to actually execute it last week was a big step.
I think also competing at practice every single day and getting those reps against multiple different defenses has really helped us out, because throughout the season we have seen multiple different defenses, and running those reps against different defenses have helped us out a lot.
Ladies, just the start of the season, you guys played some really tough opponents right out of the gate. You haven't been home for a while, then you have that big stretch off, and then you play your first home game and get that win. What has the start of the season been like, and how do you feel you're acclimating with the team?
Personally, I think we have gone through a lot this season already, but we continue to grow. Our goals is just to learn every day, and if we come out of practice learning something, that's a next step the next day. We don't want to go back any days, so every day we learn and have fun. We see that as progression.
Yeah, I think the big stretches of time where we aren't playing kind of can be deceiving in a way. Like this is my first college season, so I'm a little nervous to get into those Friday, Sunday games and then having multiple games a week because I haven't had that yet. So I'm trying to stay on my toes and treat every practice like a game day so I get more used to that. For sure.
How are you guys dealing with the fact that you got this game tonight, but then coming up you guys have, in my opinion, the heaviest part of the season? You guys go to the Midwest, you guys go up north, and you guys go on the road play against a team like Fort Lewis. It's a very competitive couple weeks that you guys got coming up. So how are you guys prepping for that? Is it daunting as a freshman, or Nici, in your position as well as an experienced player? What's really the mindset for using this game tonight for practice?
Like I said previously, we practice every day like it's the best day we're gonna practice. Another one of our goals is we go out there like it's gonna be our last day. So if we don't compete as hard as we can that day, then we're not gonna get better. So we take that day and every single day as our best day. And yeah, we're gonna have a lot of really hard games coming up, but if we take one day at a time and compete to our full limits, then it won't be a problem, I don't think.
I think it's also going to be super refreshing to have a week off of classes where we do get to travel a lot, so we're not missing class and we can really focus on lacrosse. And so we can take one thing off of our plate at a time to really focus on it and get used to that before we have to do it all at the same time.
And then from just the planning end, I mean, we've pretty much been pretending like we've got 2 games in a row for a couple weeks now. And so we've done a lot of game situations, high pressure stuff, and we'll do that again this week so that when we get into those actual 2 game weeks, hopefully it doesn't feel like something completely new to our freshmen, and it's certainly not something new for Nici. So.
Speaking of the freshmen, I mean, they've been awesome this year, especially in the last game on Regan as well. You talked about them, you big on them at the beginning of the year. Are you starting to see that emphasize even more? Are you higher? Are you people stepping up that you didn't expect to step up? Or how's your mindset when it comes to the young guys?
Yeah, no, I think it's kind of how I expected, honestly. You know, a lot of this is coming from strengths that we saw in their high school play, strengths that we saw in some of their, club experience and that kind of thing. And even just in our fall ball practices, we saw a lot of that. And what's great now is we get to do that on a game day and kind of show the rest of the world what they're all about. I think the first couple of games, there's definitely a little bit of nerves happening maybe. And just acclimating to the speed of play and some of the pressure that comes with this level. But now, what I'm seeing more than anything is the consistency we see from Regan and Lauren and Kelsey in practice is now showing up in games as well. And so it's stuff that we've seen and definitely something we expect to continue. But I think what's great about those 3 is they're getting really excited about learning as well, and I don't see any of them kind of getting content. So I'm hoping that we'll see improvement across the season too.
All right, Matt, big pressure. Question of the week.
Question of the week, and this one's kind of lighthearted. This one's kind of fun. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given, as an athlete or just as a person?
Oh, wow.
He went deep.
Okay, I'll start. So kind of like I mentioned earlier, we take every day at a time. So I think the best advice I've ever gotten is play like it's going to be your last. I kind of mentioned that earlier because people do get it taken away from them and they don't get this opportunity, and a lot of kids don't get the opportunity to ever play. So like I said earlier, I take every day like it's my last day. And if we do that in life, then we'll live life to the fullest. So I think that's my best advice I've ever gotten.
I am the worst at speaking in superlatives. I don't know if that's I've forgotten. But something that my dad used to say to me just constantly, and he grew up on a farm, just kept things really simple, was he always just said, hang in there all the time. And I love it. It's one of those things that's just kind of don't give up and don't overthink it, but it sounds really simple, but hang in there is now something I say to other people as well a ton.
I think the best advice I've ever been given is to win the day. So you don't think about the season and you don't think about the next game. You take it one day at a time, kind of like Nici said. But just win that day, win that practice, win that one drill, that one ground ball, and take it one step at a time. And if you can grow 1% that day, then